So I post over 100 times every single month all over social media and get millions of views, thousands of leads and hundreds of clients without being a full-time content creator. And I do all of this because I know 5 productivity hacks which I'm gonna share with you right now, which literally no one mentions. That's why I recommend you stay until the end of this video. And by the way, I have a community where I help ordinary people just like you get views, leads, and sales from social media without spending any money on ads. So if you're interested in doing something like that, check the first link in the description and join 7 days for free, and I'll personally help you. So let's get into it. Number 1 productivity hack is I create easy content. Most people think that you need to create content that's overproduced, over-edited in order to get views, leads, and clients from social media, and that's simply not the case, especially in 2025. I mean, you definitely can do it if you have a full production crew who's gonna handle all of the tasks that are necessary, but in any other case, it's far more important that you learn how to create valuable content that's easy to create without investing a lot of time. So if you see right now what I'm doing, this is not over-edited, overproduced. I'm simply talking about my experience and what worked for me on a simple whiteboard. So in my opinion, one of the most valuable skills that you can learn, especially in 2025, is how to create content that's easy for you to create, that doesn't take much time. And one of the biggest mistakes I did when I started out as a content creator was that I thought that I need to create super complicated reels, overproduced, over-edited reels that you see all over social media if I want to grow, get followers, get sales, and so on. And that's not the case. And my mistake was that I didn't create reels for the longest time. Yet I managed to grow 100,000 followers in the first year of posting, simply because I was super consistent and I found a way to create content that doesn't take much time for me to create. In that case, it was mostly designs on Instagram. So investing time in finding good content, good viral ideas, and then finding out how you can replicate those viral ideas without investing a lot of time, that's something that you need to do. So I'll attach a couple of examples on my screen while I'm talking about this. In the last 30 days, like content that performed the best were actually the posts which had headline and a design or an image which appeared over 5 or 6 seconds. This made sure that people will watch the reel over and over again in order to read the design and in order to stop it, to watch it, especially if you create a longer caption that incentivizes them to save. So, and that kind of content literally took me minutes to create. The most important hack is post content which is easy for you to create. Don't overcomplicate it. Break that belief of thinking that you need to overproduce, overcreate content to make it just perfect. Just post it and focus on creating content that's easy for you to output, because that's the only way to get quantity. And trust me, when you're starting out, a lot of people are thinking, should I focus on quality or quantity? If your reels don't get at least 10 to 20 views on average, you don't know what quality is. And that's why you need to focus on quantity in order to get views, and with views, all of the rest will come. Now, just important disclaimer, getting views and going viral is not the only important thing. So a lot of people think if I go viral, I will just get so many sales, leads, all of that. It doesn't work like that. In fact, the posts that are the least viral will usually bring you the most quality leads. And I'm going to explain that either later on or in one of the next videos. But the thing is, just because you're going viral doesn't mean that you will get a lot of sales. So when you're creating viral content, when you're replicating viral trends, don't just focus on replicating very broad things. Still try to keep it in your niche, mentioning your target audience, because only those views that are related to your target audience are the views that actually make sense and that will actually pay off for you. If you just attract a bunch of random people, you won't be able to sell whatever you're selling later on. Create simple content, replicate viral trends, and focus on doing it in your niche. Hack number 2 is to use good tools. So I use Canva for my design, CapCut for editing and Virality AI for my content ideas. And I know this is like a cliche thing, but these tools are absolutely the best tools for each of the respective tasks. Canva Pro is one of the best investments that I made in my life because you get so many useful tools, especially with Canva Magic, which lets you generate designs in just a couple of seconds. CapCut Pro literally costs like $5 or $6 per month. Also, one of the best investments I did in my life. And Virality AI is actually my own AI, which I developed. It's an AI that will help you find viral content ideas. You just input your niche keywords and you get a bunch of content ideas. It's completely free to try. So if you want to try it at viralityai.net. It's currently like on a huge discount too. So if you want to support my journey, feel free to check it out. The thing with all these three tools is that they're not fancy. They have the most basic functions and they are the tools that are most basic to use, and you don't actually need more than this. A lot of people think that you need a bunch of AI tools, and especially because I share a lot of AI tools on my Instagram, people think that you need to use all of them if you want to be a successful content creator. That's not the case. Keep the tools simple so that you can execute content creation simply. For filming, just use your phone camera. I'm literally filming with my phone right now and it's working perfectly fine. You don't even need a high-end phone to start. And especially because this is for YouTube and for short-form content like YouTube Shorts, Instagram Reels and TikToks, you don't even need a camera. You can literally edit designs, make it appear just as I showed, and try to replicate trends again, which are easy to create with tools that are easy to use. That will make it super easy to be produced. And especially because Canva has templates, CapCut has templates to create content. So you can just input images or videos, they're gonna do it for you. Very important, keep your tool stack simple so you can create simple content. Hack number 3 is good habits. So good habits means that each time you're on Instagram or any social media, and I know you are on Instagram or any social media because you're watching this video, instead of watching stupid, funny videos, you're gonna hit on not interested on every single one of those videos, and that's gonna make your feed only related to your niche. So you're gonna click on interested only on videos which are in your niche. If they're not in your niche, you're gonna click the 3 dots at the corner and you're gonna click not interested. And I know this is painful, but you need to separate your personal life with your professional life. If you want to have fun, watch stupid stuff, do it on another account, on your professional account, Instagram, TikTok, or anything else. Only focus on having good content which is related to your niche. That's number one thing. Now, every time you're on Instagram, you're scrolling, you're watching good content, you're gonna save every single content which is something that you can replicate. So if you find a reel, hey, this is a text overlay reel, a guy sitting at his laptop and there's text over the screen, I can replicate that, you're gonna save it. Hey, this reel got 100,000 views, save. That way, instead of wasting hours on social media, you're at least finding good content ideas that you think you can replicate. One of the biggest problems is finding viral content. So for example, I don't have much time to search on social media, so I developed my AI. But if you're on social media, develop good habits to save good content. If you still need viral content, you can use Virality AI. That way, you're reducing your content creation process to just a couple of steps. Instead of finding content, you immediately start writing content, designing content, and so on. And bonus tip, if you click on not interested on content pieces which are not relevant for your niche, that will make it also very clear with whom you want to be associated, and any algorithm, especially Instagram algorithm, will now associate you with the content that you're interested in, which means that if you're interested in your niche, your content will be pushed to your niche. So that's another benefit. Separate your personal Instagram profile from a professional Instagram profile. Number 4, repurposing. Repurposing is turning one successful content piece into another format. So for example, any reel can be repurposed into a carousel, like multiple slides, or a single post with one slide, or a threads post, and so on. So what I do and what saves me a lot of time and makes sure that I post over 100 times all over social media is each time a post is successful. So for example, let's say one of my reels, which has text overlay, is successful. What I do, I immediately take all of that text, I post it on Threads, X, LinkedIn, then I turn that text into a simple design in Canva on one slide and on multiple slides. That way I created 5 or 6 content pieces from that one successful content piece. And because it was very successful the first time I created it and posted it, it's probably going to be successful again. So instead of reinventing the wheel, when you test out a bunch of content and you find what works, repurpose it into other formats. And another hack is, even when it's just a list, you can literally write out that list as a script and just add a simple hook and say the same information, edit it a little bit, and it's going to perform again. That's yet another video that you can post on Reels, on TikTok or YouTube Shorts, and so on. So instead of reinventing the wheel, repurpose a bunch of content. That's how I literally create one piece of content and then I turn it into 5-10 pieces of content that I can post all over social media. And you do this a couple of times during the month and you already have 100 content pieces. And that's how you do it without investing hours. And fifth, and the most important tip is practice. As I mentioned, I have a community where I work with people closely, even though it's very affordable and you can join 7 days for free. And one of the things that I get asked the most in the community is, hey, I posted this and this and it didn't go viral. What do I do? So if you haven't posted at least 100 content pieces, you shouldn't be asking that yourself. For the first 100 content pieces, you just want to post and test out a bunch of stuff and see what works. That doesn't mean that you should do it mindlessly. That means you should create like 10 posts, post them, see what works. Let's say 5 of them work. You recreate those 5 because they worked. You don't want to create something new, create part 2, create the same thing with new information, whatever it is. And then test out 5 new content pieces until your number of content pieces on Instagram says that you posted 100 posts. I don't want to hear about that because you don't have the skills necessary in order to create the content. And that's the practice. That's the grind. You need to create a bunch of content if you want to see what content is successful and if you want to see what content you are good at creating. So instead of thinking about, hey, I didn't go viral, I didn't get sales and so on, try to focus on creating a bunch of content. And after you've posted 100 pieces of content in the structured way, just as I explained, and you look back and you see, okay, these 20 performed, these 80 were bad. Let's focus on these 20 and let's try to make same content pieces in the same manner as those 20 were. And that's how you grow. And then you create 100 more and 100 more. But at that point, you will figure out that you won't have that question anymore. Because after 100 pieces, if you didn't get viral, and I don't mean that you need to get million views. That means that you're going viral for you. So if you usually get 500 views and one reel gets 10,000 views, you're viral for your account because that's the size of account you're comparing with. Don't compare yourself with millions of views. I mean, sure, if you get million views, that's great, but you should be satisfied with those small gains. And if none of your reels popped up after 100 reels, that means that you didn't do it in a structured way. You didn't test out the content and then learn from it. You simply posted mindlessly 100 reels. And you posted the same content that people don't like. In that case, you have your answer why you didn't go viral. So focus on practicing the skill of content creation, because content creation at the end of the day is skill. And what you'll notice as you create more content, you will become faster at creating content. That's why nowadays it takes me 5 to 10 minutes to create a reel or post, or here right now, I'm talking for 20 minutes right now at my clock. And of course, it's going to be a little bit shorter because I'll cut out some parts where I made mistakes. And for someone else, and for example, when I started, this would have took me like at least 60 minutes to create a video like this, just as I'm doing now. So creating content is also a skill, and practicing is very important. So let's recap. So you need to create easy content, use tools which are easy to use in order to create content very quickly. You need to create good habits which are gonna give you good content ideas. You need to repurpose content that works all over social media. You need to practice the skill of content creation. That's how you're gonna become better and faster at creating content. And with all of this, this is how I create over 100 content pieces. And 100 is honestly an understatement, because I post 3 times per day on Instagram and at least once per day all over other social media. On Threads, I actually post even more than that. So that's way over 100 content pieces, and I do all this without being a full-time content creator. If I can do it, you can do it too with enough practice. And that's it for now. Thank you for watching. If you like the video, make sure to sub to the channel, like the video, and I'll know to create more stuff like this. And if you want to learn more about how to create content, how to get views, how to get leads and clients from social media, make sure to check the first link in the description and join my community 7 days for free. We'll get on a call one-on-one, and I'll personally help you develop all of this for yourself. No obligation, no risk, just join. See you in the next one.